All right, here is Ben Biskovich, the Executive Director of Apple Therapy at both the Executive Health Club and the Londonderry Clinic. We welcome you inside FNL Winter. Ben, good to be with you.
Oh, it's good to be here, Nick. Thanks for having me.
Well, first of all, we appreciate everything you do, everything your wife has done, everything the entire staff at Apple Therapy has done in terms of our partnership, and we'll talk a little bit about what the scholarship program entails. But first, let the listeners know a little bit about Apple Therapy itself. It's growing. You've got 6 different branches throughout southern New Hampshire. What is Apple Therapy really all about?
What we do at Apple Therapy, we provide physical therapy services. So, it used to be back in the day that the primary, you have a shoulder pain or neck pain or back pain. You go and see your primary care physician. They'll give you some pills. That you come back, it doesn't get better, and they say, "Oh, okay, you want to go to your chiropractor or physical therapist? Why don't you go ahead and do that now?" But today, a lot of times people just are coming to us directly because they've seen us before, and they know that we can spend a lot more time with them than with their doctor. So we see kids to elderly, from somebody with this neck and back pain to somebody who's trying to avoid surgery. We get a lot of high school athletes who are trying to stay in throughout their sport. And nowadays we're getting so many adults that are trying to do marathons and triathlons, or couch to 5K programs and things like that. And our job is to help them accomplish their goals, even just, let alone getting across the finish line, but really getting to the starting line for some of those things, or just getting back to work, because if you're not making any money, you can't provide the services for your family. So we do a large array of things like that. And
Right. So it's certainly more than just athletes and youth athletes. It seems like it's folks from all over, from all walks of life. It sounds to me like you just described almost a partnership between the trainer and the patient. It sounds like you guys are on board through the duration of the recovery process, and it's not just kind of a one-stop thing, and you offer diagnosis and send them on their way. This is more involved. Is that right?
Oh, very much so, especially with our student athletes that have some of the bigger schools that have, which I can't recommend enough, is an athletic trainer on site. And we have a partnership with the Safe Sports Network, who does a lot of great work with baseline concussion testing and things like that. But yeah, we communicate directly with the athletic trainer as well as the parents and the staff and everything. But yeah, we're an extension. We're either an extension of them or they're an extension of us, depending on the severity of the injury and the involvement with the athlete.
Again, Ben Biskovich is our guest, the Executive Director of Apple Therapy at both the Executive Health Club and the Londonderry Clinic. What kind of changes have you seen since you've been involved with Apple? Are things really different in terms of cutting-edge medicine and some of the things you offer than let's say it was when you first started?
Yeah, actually, it's quite a big difference. When I first started, everyone had a $5, $10, maybe $20 copay, and now a $20 copay is low. A lot of times people are paying $40, $50. They have co-insurances, high deductible plans. They want to know what they're getting for their services, that they had some skin in the game now. But also over the course of the last 13 years, I think people are starting to realize how valuable our services are. That we are the ones who are going to help them get to sleep at night, to get rid of that pain in the neck. We're going to get them back on the field, back to work. So that's the biggest change I've seen, is that that more of the cost has shifted towards the patient, but also they're coming directly to us instead of their doctor or their chiropractor when they have pain, because they've had a good experience, or they've had a friend or a family member come see us and have a good experience.
All right, let's talk.
As far as technology, I mean, to be honest, there's something we've done in the last couple of years that we didn't do before, which was, trigger point dry needling, which is getting into, trigger points in the muscles, which is very, very common in the hamstring, calf for runners. That neck pain, those headaches that don't go away. I've been a therapist for 13 years, and I've been doing this for the last 6.5, 7, and it's almost magic the way it can take pain away for those trigger points. We're also the first one in Southern New Hampshire to have somebody with Grafton can do the Grafton technique throughout all of our clinics as well. So we try to find out what the next thing is and do it off of research-based stuff. I mean, when I first started, we used to do ultrasound. Hardly anyone does ultrasound anymore unless they haven't been looking at the research over the last 10 or 15 years.
Really cutting-edge stuff for sure. Again, Ben Biskovich talking with us from Apple Therapy. Let's talk a little bit about the 2016 scholarship program in conjunction, of course, with ESPN New Hampshire. Monthly, we honor a boy and a girl, one senior boy, one senior girl, and those monthly winners will all gather in May for our end-of-the-year banquet in which one senior boy, one senior girl will win a $2,500 scholarship to help pay for their college education. The requirements are simple. They just have to be a senior at a New Hampshire high school, play a varsity sport, and have at least a 3.0 GPA. Apple has always, it seems like, been kind of community-oriented. You guys do a lot of work outside of your doors, and this scholarship is really giving back to some of New Hampshire's best and brightest. What does this scholarship program mean to you, I guess personally, Ben, and as a representative of Apple Therapy?
I think pretty much all of our clinicians at some point have been athletes in our lives. And just, me personally, I played football, basketball, did track, and I really get a sense of, I love student athletes, because they're working a little bit harder. And I think it's great for anybody, let alone these kids during the pivotal moments of their life, to know what it takes to succeed, that you have to work hard, throughout the summer and fall to achieve a goal that you hope to accomplish 6 months later with everybody else that's working just as hard, and the trick obviously is to take that work ethic and that drive onto college and continue that in the classroom and then, later on in the boardroom.
Right.
I say, good things come to those who work their tails off for it, and no one does that harder and more in high school than the student athlete, and we want to reward them for that.
Well, we, of course, appreciate the partnership, and one more time for listeners, to email your student athlete, just go ahead and email their name, their school, their accomplishments, and GPA to me, nick.anastos, ANASTOS, at ESPNNH.com. Ben Biskovich, Executive Director of Apple Therapy at both the Executive Health Club and the Londonderry Clinic. We appreciate your time. Thanks a lot.
Hey, thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.